Hello future developers, welcome to another tutorial ABCD. Today we'll be learning pandas. So I already have a covered data set. By this time you should know what pandas is. The course think out how to send a link to where you can get the pandas like website so you can read on your own. Okay, so that said, I've opened Jupyter Notebook and then um, I'm going to my document because I have the data set in the document. Sorry, the document. So COVID. Okay, so this is the data set. Okay, so this is a data set that we are going to use. So I'm going to create a new Python file. So click here, new. Then I'll click Python 3. So let's wait for it to load. So this is what we are going to do. I'll be referencing from here. I tried using that last year. I did something from here, so we'll be doing something from here. So I'll be looking at this to help us. Okay. So what we are going to do first is we are going to import pandas as PD. Import pandas as PD. It's going to handle the pandas as PD, and then import numpy. I already have a numpy course, numpy as np. Okay, so we can run it, and then let's go back and view what we have here. So import pandas as PD, numpy as np. So we wouldn't be doing any visualization for now. So we just need these two libraries, pandas and numpy. So numpy for numerical computation, and then pandas for helping us with the data framing of our, and then analyzation or analysis of our data. So here you could see here. So this link, this code here is trying to fetch the data online, but we already have it downloaded. I already have it downloaded on my computer, so we are not going to use this method. So we use this method instead. Okay. So we'll have to create a variable. So here we created a variable df equals pd.read underscore csv, and then you input the path file. Okay, the path to your destination. So all this, I'm going to create a variable called df data frame to store, or yeah, to store our like our data. So df equals pd, that's pandas dot read underscore csv. Okay, and then in the parentheses put some quotation commas, and then want to the length, or so remember we are working within this. So this is our notebook, and then this is our data set. Okay, so we can copy this. Let's see whether it will work. If it doesn't work, we'll use another method. Control V dot CSV. Okay. So there's an error. Okay. So let's just take this out. Let's run it. The other error. Okay. Okay, so if I go to my documents, okay, so there's the actual file. Okay, as the data set, and then we use a different data. So what I'll do is I have to go and then let me click on this. Okay, so I can copy this rather, or this instead. Or let's use only this. Then let's paste it here, and then C, Control V, then let's run it. Okay. So if I call df, and then so just go back and then see how. So remember this the folder for which, or in which we are working. Let me change the name of my project. Okay, so let me just make it COVID 2021. To rename it, and then when I go to my document, okay, so this, where is it? Okay, so there's it. Okay, so we are working within this environment, and then when you click on this, when I clicked on this, it took us to this. So there's the data set, so there's the path, but we need only this because we are working within that particular folder. So when I print this, okay, so df, okay, so this is the data set. Okay, so this is the data set. These are the documents. Let's see, df. Okay. Okay, so in our data set, you can see we have the columns. Okay, so from here we have 12 columns and then 238 rows. Okay, so the rows, then 12 columns. Okay, so these are the columns. Okay. And then you can see what's happening here, the figures and then the countries. Okay, so let's try something. So let's try printing out the index, or that's the name, the numbers, or the number of rows. So df dot index. Okay, and let's run and shift enter. Okay, so this the indexing for the columns. Okay, so these are the indexing. Okay, which is this one. Okay, then the length is 238. Now let's look here. This, so here, okay, this document was indexed using numerals. Okay, was indexed using numerals. So you can see if I print df.index, it rather give us numbers. Okay, numbers. Unlike the other one, this one which give us this indexing. So these ones were actual alphabets or names. Okay. So let's try printing out the columns. So df.column columns. Okay. So these are the columns. Okay. So whole region cases, the cumulative total, likes, and then if you compare, you can see these are the columns as shown here. Sorry, as shown here. Okay, so cumulative total per thousand population. So cumulative total per thousand population. So is it? Okay, so cumulative total per thousand population. Okay. So let's try something else. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so df the values. So let's see the values. So you can see here we have the dates, and then we have code, the coded, like the code for a country, and then the actual country. Then some numerals. Okay. So let's try that df.values. So df.values. So let's check for our values. So these are our values. So we have NA, NAN, and then some numerals, and then the country, and some figures. Okay. And the data type is an object. Okay. So let's try another code. So d type. So we want to check the data types. Okay. So here in this document, these are the data types. So objects and then int64. So let's try df.datatypes or df.dtypes, df.dtypes. Okay. So depending on the variable you gave, you want to use that variable name. So if I change, if I use maybe data here, I should use the data to like to be able to access these files. So that variable data to be able to access these files. So df.datatypes. So these are our data types. So we have in objects, we have in 64 floats, and the likes. Okay.